Welcome back to Side by Side Plays. We're back in Herlock Sholmes' place because we forgot something. We never examined like half the things in this room. I don't even know there was a third area. Oh, that's my blackboard where I wrote down note ideas. Oh, interesting. Let's see. Black Peter? What does that mean? Don't you want to hear what Iris has to say, Mr. Naruto? I'll come back to that blackboard later. And you're supposed to also look at the violin. I've seen pictures of Western musical instruments like this. It's called a violin, isn't it? Of course it is. Mr. Sholmes is renowned for his violin playing. Really? Absolutely. It's often explained in the stories. It's inspirational, Mr. Naruto. Inspirational. I immediately started playing the koto, which was the closest Japanese stringed instrument I could find. What a shame you couldn't bring it with you to London. You're making fun of me. Oh yeah, well, Papa was beaming when I asked him if he would buy me one. But after a while, he asked if I would only practice when he was out of the house. So now it's merely an ornament in my room. Ouch.
Ouch.
Anyway, bye Iris. Back to the depths of hell. That was a better timeline, in which we got better dialogue. Now back to the darkest timeline. So I looked up lengths for all the cases in this game, and we're like, I shit you not, we're only like halfway through the game. Yeah, I know. The last two cases, this case is 6 hours long. We're like 2 hours into it.
Oh.
The last case is like 10 hours. Good day to you. I forgot. He was Frenchman, right?
He was Frenchman.
Fucking every.
Oui, oui.
Oui, oui. Oh, good day to you. I got Jean de Garrett there at your surface. Pleased to meet you, sir. Let me just unwrap my crunch wrap. Supreme. I'll just have it in the middle of talking you. I'll unwrap it as noisily as possible. Do excuse me not getting up. In France, we get up for the queen and the male person. Those are the only two people worthy of respect. Took a shot to the knee. I used to say memes a few years back, but then I took a shot to the knee back in the Battle of Mawand. Don't you know?
I used to be a lawyer like you.
On the medal for my pay. The joke is to subvert your expectations. I had to withdraw from service, handed over the reins to the up-and-comings. Also, my maid, she eats all of my cakes. So he's a retired soldier. It's a hell of a job getting up and downstairs now. I just get a one-story place. That's what my grandparents did. I can tell you, don't get out much, as you can imagine. Oh yeah, because they have stairs to their buildings because of the snow and shit. Yeah, I don't regret not living in a place like that. We probably should have some here. Yes, it's quite a climb up here to the second floor, isn't it? I was panting at the top of the stairs. You really must take more exercise, Mr. Naruto. Do you think so? Well, Mr. Garrett, no doubt you were very courageous to earn yourself a medal. Haha, you are wrong. It was bone spurs. The medal's just a folderol, really. Wouldn't like to offend the general, though, so I grudgingly displayed it on the wall. Why don't you fetch it down, John? Let these good people see it properly. Don't fetch it. Ah! Oh, my loins! Dash it all, woman. Be careful. Oh, dearie me. I do beg your pardon, sir. Huh, you jolly nearly took the skin off my hands. And my wee-wee. I shall be more careful, sir. So anyway, there you have it. Living the quiet life now. I couldn't have possibly killed anyone. You see, that definitely was not the murderer. Now then, I hear you want to know about the chap lodging downstairs. Is that right? I killed someone to frame him for murder because I don't like people living in my home. I'm a landlord. Yes, we would be very grateful if you... I shit you not. That's my... I would put money down. Mr. Garrett's gotta be the murderer. I'm gonna laugh so hard.
It's gonna be his maid.
No. Like, I made up this fictitious reason for murder, but honestly, he feels like the only person so far we've met in this case that would have done it. Only two, please. Now, yeah, or the maid, I guess, but it was something stupid like Case 2-2 in Danganronpa, where she misinterpreted one of his orders. Although that seems like much more of a Danganronpa twist. Mm-hmm. Only two, please, naturally. Especially if it helps to keep the peace here in Blighty. And they also, in Ace Attorney, they tend to have the murderer genders kind of evened out. We've already had at least one. Mm-hmm. We actually had two. We've had two women killers. Mm-hmm. So, didn't find out who did it the third time, but that's a discussion for later. We forged an alliance with the Empire of Japan recently, as I'm sure you're aware. So this case is very much in the public eye, as it were. Oh, is it? I even had some famous detective poking around, you know, in this old house, would you believe? Oh, yeah! That guy! Could have been. Didn't catch the chap's name. Not really my cup of tea, all the detective business. No, wait, I don't want story mode. Let's turn that shit back off. I'm just gonna let him talk for a second. Ah, shit! I don't like food. Oh, we gotta finally meet Herlock Sholmes again. Ah, fuck, they put onions on this. Yeah, there's not that many. Alright, I'm just gonna power through this. This is gonna suck.
Would you like me to press the buttons?
Alright, sure.
Give me the remote. Ah, yes, the Japanese chap. Only been lodging here for a week. Oh, just 1 week. So he moved in recently, then.
Wait. They're on the second floor. So how do you... One on the first floor and one below you? Is that a British thing? I feel like that's a British thing. Mm-hmm. Where they say the first floor is the basement or whatever? Mm-hmm. Man, if that actually is an aspect of this case, I'm gonna be mad. Oh, what was suspicious?
Whoopsie, sorry, I pressed the wrong thing. I'll spot your lodger. Shadier than mush. Could you elaborate?
Oh man. He just books every day. Every day. Reading, sitting, not interacting with anyone. He must be a murderer.
He's a recluse. In Britain.
We've never heard of such a thing. Could you clarify something, I wonder? What, pray? How do you know so much about Mr. Natsume's routine? Oh,
Oh! I'd understood that neither of the lodgers live on this floor of this house. Is that correct?
That's right, yes. They're both below us on the first floor and street level.
Then how is it that you know so much about the... Wait, okay, no. I think I have that back. Wait. Can you press minus? Make them stop. So, no. I think it's street level, and then the next one up, the second floor, is what they call the first floor. So they're living on the third floor.
Mm-hmm.
So they're on our level. Okay. Oh my goodness, sir. I'm terribly sorry, sir.
Yeah, I think she pours tea on his hand to stop him from saying something stupid. Incriminating.
I don't think so. The maid seems to, what's the word? Not flighty, but like, you know,
Dim-witted?
kind of dim-witted. It's not quite the word I would use, but she
Airhead?
seems, yeah, too airheaded. I think she might get called as a witness, but I don't think she's really involved all that much. She might have seen something. Alright, 5 in the evening. Did you happen to look out the window around that time?
The window?
Yes, we noticed that the window over there looks out over Briar Road. The incident took place on the pavement just on the far side of the street. Was there anyone suspicious loitering nearby?
Yeah.
Well,
What did you see? You know what? You might be right. They're in cahoots. That, or he's not doing it on purpose. Like, he's trying to be helpful, but the maid is doing more than she lets on. Okay, you might be onto something. Oh. Naro Hollow. Yeah, what? Okay, maid is sus.
I told you, made us sus.
Hey, stop pouring tea, please. Okay. Yeah, it definitely sounds like something happened now. Trying to cover something up, Joan. Ugh, fucking British people. I definitely think we'll have to talk to whoever's on street level floor, the other lodger, at some point. But, yeah. That's surprising. He did?
That's a blatant lie.
No. Okay.
No, what tipped me off about the maid, if they wanted to show she was airheaded, they would have only done it once.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that it kept repeating, especially when he was talking...
Yeah, it's Ace Attorney, it happens.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, that was pretty blatant, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let's get out of here. I'm pretty sure I inspected absolutely everything in the room.
Whoopsie. Okay, how do I...
Press B. I can take over now. I'm done with my meal.
My scarf...
Yeah, I feel bad for eating through that whole conversation, but I didn't think we would get anything interesting anyway, and I was right.
Besides the fact the maid is hiding something.
Yeah. We're still pretty early in this case.
Kitty!
Kitty!
Has someone been feeding the kitty?
Well, just look at this place. And smell it. It's so musty in here. I suppose it's the mountains of old books that are responsible for that.
And it smells like cat poop.
Mr. Naruto? I don't think I've ever seen so many books in all my life. No, me neither.
Were you guys just in a library?
No?
No, never mind.
There's no window. There's just a wall. Once upon a time. For some reason it's been closed up with bricks and mortar. So this is where Mr. Natsume lives. By the way, I haven't spotted Mr. Sholmes anywhere, have you? No, that's true. But according to what Mr. Gurudev told us, the great detective should be around here somewhere. Oh, we're gonna find him in a weird place. Okay. Oh.
Click the kitty.
Dang it. Okay, I'll click the kitty. Baby. No. No, come back. Oh my, what an adorable little cat. Perhaps he's looking after all the books while his master is away. What a good cat. I don't know about that. He disappeared in that pile of books as quick as a flash. It was a tricolor macaque, wasn't it? Do they even have that sort of cat here in Great Britain? Perhaps Mr. Natsume brought the little creature with him from Japan. That's made me feel homesick now. Already? We've only been in the country for 2 days.
But we've been on a ship for...
40 days plus the 15 before, so 55 days. That's almost 2 months? Look, I found the kitty. Oh, look, it's a beckoning cat from home. It's a bit big and bulky, isn't it? Surely Mr. Natsume didn't bring that Mineki Neko all the way from Japan with him. I hardly think you're in a position to comment, Mr. Naruto. What's that on your belt? What's that thing you got right there? I didn't bring it. Kazuma did. What? I brought a doll? I need to know what a Daruma doll is. Like, I think I know what it is because Pokemon, but Okay, I was right.
What is it?
So it's literally just a doll. It's supposed to simplify. It's got all this lore about it. I'm just trying to see how big it is. Daramu doll, hollowed round, Japanese traditional ball modeled after the founder of Zen Buddhism. It's a symbol of perseverance and good luck, of course.
Mm-hmm.
The doll has also been commercialized by many Buddhist temples to use alongside the setting of goals. I'm gonna guess that they're like handheld. Like they probably vary in size, but her being like, "Hi, you should be one to talk." Like it doesn't make sense here because the thing we brought is probably like the size of a keychain. Well, I imagine Mr. Natsume wanted the same, and this cat is sure to beckon good luck to him. It's not doing a very good job so far, is it? You mustn't say such things. I'm pretty sure I thought that. I did. Yeah, she's just a fucking No, we already established he doesn't think. He doesn't. He just says everything out loud. I didn't say a word. Why are my eyes such a giveaway? Alright. I want to look it through the... oh, of course, the one thing I wanted to look at isn't available.
What, the bag?
I wanted to look at the bag. Yeah. Yeah, all the interesting stuff is not available. I can click on the books, but that's it. There's probably not going to give me anything, because it's just piles and piles of it.
Unless that's where Mr. Sholmes is. In the books.
You know what? You're probably right. Look at all those books stacked up there. They almost reach the ceiling. They're all works of English literature, and they all smell so musty. So the streamers that I'm following that are playing through this game, like, obviously they have an easier job of it because there's 4 of them as opposed to the one of me doing all the voices. Mm-hmm. But as soon as they realize that they're probably speaking British English, they switch to British accents for everybody. And granted, I'm not a voice actor, and they probably have way more experience with that sort of thing than me. But holy shit, I don't do accents anyway.
For a reason.
But, like, I can't. Yeah, I can't imagine doing a fake accent for an entire game playthrough. Props to them, seriously.
Mm-hmm.
With this volume of books to hand, you'd never be short of reading material, would you? No, what a dreamy idea. Well, the books won't... Yeah.
Me, at least.
The books won't last if they're not on shelves. Mind you, I don't imagine the book that's at the bottom of the pile now will ever be read again. So reading is an experience that comes but once in a lifetime, just as the tea ceremony teaches us. I certainly didn't expect the conversation to turn down the path of tea ceremony philosophy. Okay, so Mr. Sholmes is not in the books. Oh, but we have the desk. That desk seems to be wedged into a crevasse between the mountains of books on either side. I suppose Mr. Natsume would sit here and read while stroking his cat. Oh, I do want to talk about something, because there was something in the last case. I think I tried to mention this, but I got the word wrong. Apparently there's a word that gets mentioned, that gets thrown around a few times, that's a slur. And I said it every time because I didn't know it. I had never heard it before. And it's probably more common back in the day and more common over in Britain. But I looked it up and I verified it. Apparently it's just one of those things. It would have been like comparable to like Uncle Tom to refer to black people. Mm. The word is the name of a character from a Japanese, or not Japanese, holy shit, Shakespearean play that was basically like not a great depiction of a Jewish person, and the word eventually would have become synonymous with, you know, the Jewish stereotype. Mm-hmm. I think the context for this game, like obviously I can't say for sure one way or the other because I'm not in that marginalized group. I think the way that the game uses it is fine. It probably should have used a different word like loan shark, but in the context of this setting, it wouldn't have made sense, so I get why they used that word, but I don't know. I genuinely had never heard of that word before this game. So we're just gonna... If it comes up again, I'll say that's the word and I won't say it, but...
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like a terrible slur. But... Yeah, I'm just gonna avoid it. Surrounded on all sides by these towering old tomes, surely he dreamt of books every night as well. It actually sounds like a dream come true. I got their accents switched up. He must have done, mustn't he? Oh, what's this? In the books. It's another cat. Lifts up head. Nope, that's Mr. Sholmes. That's not Mr. Sholmes at all. It's a receipt from a second-hand bookshop. Your books. It's your books now. It's actually not a bad name for a bookstore. Mr. Natsume's name is on it. Look, and the date of purchase. 2 days ago at 4:55 p.m. That's the day of the murder! It's just a short while before he was embroiled in the terrible attack. He must have been on his way back from buying some old books. You know, we got this receipt now, but it's probably not going to be important at all. Probably not going to come up. Sum of 2 shillings tendered in the receipt of the picture of Monsieur Lecoq, a meal for Guy Barreau, or Canterbury yearnings. I get the reference in the last one, but yeah, if there is something here, we don't know it yet. Ah, someone drew an X on this map of the incident. This map must be valuable evidence. Okay, so there was nothing here then? Obviously I need to examine the bricks. I think so. It was a window at one time, after all. Although all that remains is a frame around some bricks now. So really it's just a wall then, isn't it? But why would anyone deliberately brick it up like that? I'm afraid I have no idea. Ah, perhaps Mr. Natsume painted the brick design in a fit of whimsy? What? That's alarmingly feasible. Anyway, whatever the reason, the lack of ventilation in here makes the place very oppressive. Yeah, that's a good point. It does. I imagine being cooped up in a room like this would be extremely trying. I'm starting to think that it was, like, either the maid or Mr. Garadev that was like, get the fuck out of our house, we don't want you here. And so they were trying to make things as negative as possible for him. It was like, hey, we're gonna brick up the walls, you bitch. Hello, sir.
Found him.
You weren't there before. Ah, look, Mr. Naruhodo. Ah, there he is. Also, someone pointed this out. Mr. Sholmes is neurodivergent. He's neurodivergent.
Mm-hmm.
Always appearing in random places, doing whatever he fucking feels like.
Yep.
To no one's benefit but his own. Yeah, my little boy. He's got something going on in his head. He seems to be engrossed in the pages of an old book. Like, I can imagine being a detective in this setting and just be like, oh, a lot of books. I'll just open one, see if it's got any clues, and it's 5 p.m. I've wasted the entire day. I hope he won't mind if we disturb him. Hello, Mr. Sholmes. I'm reading. Oh! Good day to you two. Good day. Now, I've completely lost his accent, and let me see, where was it that we met? Oh, Mr. Sholmes, we were together on the SS Beria. The ship where they bury ya. Ha ha ha. Yes, of course, the Beria. And let me see, what happened on that voyage?
My friend died.
My friend died, tragically. And you were of no help at all. No, that doesn't sound like me, of course. It was one with the snake, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure the snake had nothing to do with it. Also, yeah, this game apparently you'd get a lot more out of it if you knew the adventures of Sherlock Holmes, because Sherlock Holmes' deduction about the snake slithering through the vent, killing Kazuma, and then being lured back out and being that's actually what happened in the mysterious case of the speckled band. And they even got the part where they trained the snake with milk. Which, when I heard that, I was like, you can't be fucking serious. That sounds so stupid. Well, you seem to remember something of it, at least. What an honor to be remembered vaguely by the great Sherlock Holmes.
Please step on me, sir.
This is Mr... Oh, no, my dear madam. Hold your tongue. I pride myself on the superior powers of my recollection. Your names are safely recorded in my brain attic. Miss Naruhodo and Mr. Susato. Well, not yet.
Try the other way around.
She will be Miss Naruhodo. Ah ha ha ha! I lose the first round. Anyway, I probably shouldn't be smoking in here. In truth, I had hoped to invite you both to my Baker Street suite the day we arrived in London. But some Scotland Yard has ambushed me at the railway station and whisked me away to a crime scene. Tragic. It was an entirely trivial case, of course. I solved the matter in no more than 30 minutes. So they apprehended Soseki-san in that short of an amount of time? I'm afraid the pursuance of the new case has dulled my recollection of the past involvements a little. A little? It is a mistake to think that one's brain attic has elastic walls and can distend to any extent now. I do my best to forget useless facts, lest they should elbow out the useful ones. Yes, those are my own words of wisdom, you know, from an adventure entitled A Study in Scarlet. Please, there's no need to quote yourself. I don't always remember my pearls of business, but fortunately, when I do, my associate pens them beautifully. He means Iris, I suppose. Mr. Sholmes, step on me. We have some extremely important questions to ask you about the trivial case you just mentioned. Goodness, what an earnest expression. My dear madam, I should only be too pleased at this murky room is an apt place to discuss the murky case. So wait, he said he's searching for a new case to work on, but he's still... He's here. So, like... Does he not realize that he's still working on this case? Or, even better, he just randomly wandered in here and people assumed that was related to this case, and they just let him do it.
Probably the second one.
Either way is fucking hilarious. Mr. Naruhodo, please. Despite aspirations to the contrary, I am a professional. If I am unleash my deductive powers on that trinket, I must ask for a sum of £3 in cash. Oh, I don't need you to make any deductions about it. I was just wondering if you might know. Mr. Naruhodo, as a professional, I insist that if I am to offer my opinion on that trinket, I must ask for a sum of £3 in cash. He just wants our money, Mr. Naruhodo. I believe Mr. Sholmes has his eye on an expensive copy of the complete works of Shakespeare. Okay, that's funny. Yes, to stand on the stage amid rapturous applause. It has long been a dream of mine, as you know. Also, I have an addiction to opium. It's not really relevant, I just thought I'd mention that. Did you know that?
Everyone has that.
It is Britain in the 1900s.
Did you want to present him with the receipt?
Probably. Yeah, maybe. I'll converse first, though. Because right now, he is our enemy. We know this to be the lodgings of a Japanese foreign student by the name of Soseki Natsume. It seems that you assisted in his arrest, Mr. Sholmes, for the stabbing of a young woman outside of here on Briar Road. Natsume, eh? Yes, I believe it was a name rather along those lines. But Mr. Natsume denies it. Was it really justifiable to arrest him on so little? Yes.
I arrested you on so little.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, it wasn't an official arrest. I'm not a policeman, so I don't know why anybody listens to me. I'm sorry, Mr. Sato, but I have not the slightest idea what you mean. What? I can't believe he was looking Susato in the eye while feigning ignorance. I assure you, I'm not merely feigning ignorance. Stop talking out loud. Everyone can hear you, you bitch. It would appear as if the pair of you are under some misapprehension. How? I assure you, I have no recollection of accusing your stooped compatriot of the crime. That doesn't make sense. The good detective of Scotland Yard made the following request of me. I quote verbatim. We need you to ascertain the identity and whereabouts of a man seen fleeing the crime scene. Ah. There were a number of books scattered on the pavement at the scene. From the book plates, I was quickly able to determine the bookshop from which they had been purchased. On speaking with the proprietor, I was immediately led to this address. Elementary, wouldn't you say? I believe there is a receipt around here somewhere from the establishment. Yeah, that's probably a good idea that I didn't show him the receipt. Well, I mean, he already figured it out, but whatever. It was aggravating my faculties, hence why I returned here. However, this place is such a trove of fascinating books, I found myself quite lost in bibliophile. Oh god. Bibliophily. Do not be deceived in believing that I'm a man of leisure. No, no, no. I didn't get distracted. I didn't dissociate for 4 hours on end. It's been 10. Holy shit. Not
Dude,
again.
it's the next day.
Not again. Yeah, you said the crime was 2 days ago? It was 3 days ago, my dude. Big stretch? Yeah, let's keep talking. Ah, tell me. Tell me. Tell me. How big are them titties, girl? Have you ever encountered the landlord of these lodgings? Yeah, Mr. Garrett did. Retired military man. It was the first time I've ever met a soldier from the Great British Institution that is the services. It was the first time I've ever met a maid from the Great British Institution that is service. Ah ha 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 ha! I didn't think it was that funny. I do apologize. I was thinking of something way more funny than you are. As you may well be aware, many households in London employ a maid. Yes, I read as much in my Great Britain primer. And so, conversely, whether or not a household employs maid has come to betoken the social standing of those dwelling therein. If you own... No, actually, I'm not going to go there. Betoken their social standing, sorry. Put simply, my dear fellow, those who employ at least a single maid are considered middle class. Jesus. Okay. In the upper echelons of society, of course, households employ enough staff to constitute a large family. A family of maids and butlers. And I said maids twice, didn't I? Goodness, how extraordinary. As you can appreciate, for those on the precarious boundary between the middle and lower classes, being able to afford just one maid is of the first importance. I had no idea. And it's for precisely that reason I find great stimulation in this situation upstairs. You... what? Specifically in the retired army veteran, Mr. John Garadeb. Oh. He's poor, you see. That affable as he is, the fellow is hiding something. No shit. Whether or not it imposes on the circumstances of this case, I am yet unable to ascertain. I'm thoroughly lost on what he means to say. This room is thoroughly suffocating for the soul, my dear fellow. It's almost like anybody who worked here, who lived here, would have been wanting to leave. And if he didn't, then the landlord's probably anyway. I assure you, any man who's allowed to dwell in a place such as this will stab someone soon. Shut the fuck up, Sholmes. Mr. Natsume has stabbed no one. I just said that anybody who lived there would have stabbed someone. I think the cat did it. You think the cat stabbed a woman?
I mean, he did think a snake.
I don't believe that's the issue here. About this dark little room, Mr. Sholmes. Why is it there no longer a window? Do you have any idea? I will tell you in my logic and reasoning deduction spectacular. I believe a snake put the bricks up here. I mean, I can clearly see that there is a window of sorts. No, my good sir, that's just the wall. It's a poster of a window covered with bricks. Ah, I see. The answer to that question is quite simple. Window tax. Wait, what? What is that? Surely not a tax on windows. Precisely that. Oh my god. Until relatively recently, a tax was levied on households in this country by the number of their windows. Those of lesser means, having inherited a sizable and costly family home, perhaps, rapidly close windows up. That is stupid. While the rich open windows here, there, and everywhere, in an effort to curry favor with those in power by furnishing them with large sums of tax money. I don't think that you don't understand how the rich work. They would have done the exact same thing. How awful and unjust, forcing people to live in rooms devoid of light. Indeed, disease was rife as a result. That, you know, actually, I could see that happening.
Mm-hmm.
So some 40 years ago, or thereabouts, the window tax was abolished. But its legacy remains, its dark legacy remains, as you can see, in squalid lodgings such as these, for example. I suppose Mr. Natsume's stipend for living here in London isn't very generous, perhaps. It would appear so. I've done a little digging, and discovered that these lodgings were offered at an extraordinarily low price. Maybe we should take Natsume's room, Mr. Naruto. I mean, he's not using it or anything, because the room is so awful. Apparently, Mr. Natsume only moved in here about 1 week ago. Wow. And he was accused of murder 2 days ago? That's crazy. I don't believe the low rent is explained by the shabby nature of the accommodation. Oh? Still, that is of a little relevance here. A matter not worthy of further attention. Are you sure? I'm curious now. Well, it's getting late. I believe I've told you all I can now. Thanks, Mr. Sholmes. Thanks a lot. Ah, yes, Mr. Naruto. Was it not your intention to become a practitioner of law? You remembered that, did you? Will you perhaps be offering your services in this very matter, I wonder? To the occupant of this room, Mr. Natsume, was it? I'm not sure. Not sure, but it's an ace attorney game. You have to be a lawyer at some point. Well, I actually defended someone in court here only yesterday. And then they died. Well, then I congratulate you, sir, on an ambition realized, and so promptly, too. Thing is, it's really made me question things. Am I right to believe in my clients? To trust in their innocence? No. Everyone in this city is fucking terrible. That's why I left.
So I became a detective instead of a lawyer.
They keep bringing me back here. I'm trying to flee the country. I renounced my citizenship, but they just keep bringing me back, man. That's just how detestable British people are in countries that aren't Britain.
You know, I was trying to get to Japan so I can, like, change my hair color, dye my hair, and...
I wanted to hide away for the rest of my life. Unfortunately, nobody there speaks English, and my education is not that good. Mr. Natsume didn't do it, did he? That's where you're wrong, kiddo. Ah ha ha! My dear fellow, I haven't the first idea. But isn't that your whole job? I thought that's why you were here. Didn't you come back to investigate? No, I wanted the books. I'm a thief, you see. Pulls out a knife. Now you're not gonna tell anyone I was here, right? Like there are simply too many fascinating books here. I couldn't possibly ignore them. I was kidding. Nevertheless, there are two facts that I can state quite unequivocally.
The man who fled the scene of the crime 2 days ago was the Japanese occupant of this room. And there are witnesses to swear to have seen the same man commit the crime. That's all I can say. Oh, there's that opium I was talking about earlier. Oh, and one more thing. There's more? I cannot say with any certainty whether or not it is of relevance to this case, but I am quite sure.
I saw the man fucking his, maid.
On the way over here, I saw Mr. Garadeb, the landlord, fucking his maid.
And then hiding him.
Up against the window. It was, she was on top. It was quite unruly. Anyway, the retired army man, the one I was just talking about, actually, he is hiding something. Hiding his pickle inside of his maid, you see. If you get my intended meaning. Mr. Sholmes said as much before, actually, didn't he? Wait, what did he? No, I read that completely wrong, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
No, I got it right. Said as much before, actually, didn't he? Anyway, at present, that's really all that plays on my mind in relation to this case. I don't know why I'm going with 1900s radio announcer for him now. It kind of works, though.
Mr. Naruto.
As yet, our investigations have uncovered nothing that could help establish Mr. Natsume's innocence. No, you're right. Perhaps it's time we probed a little deeper into Mr. Garadeb's secret. We have to be inside of his maid next. Just remember, I cannot be sure whether the landlord's secret will prove to be of relevance or not. Or even helpful in that case. But I wish you every success, of course, Mr. Naruto. Alright, bye. A busy man indeed. He's gone back to his book in the corner of the room. Aww. I just wanna scroll over and just like the cat's there in his lap. Aww.
Oh, kitty though.
No kitty. Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes. What is it? I'm busy. So true. Yes, to be or not to be. That is indeed the question. To be or not to be brushed off, that is the question. And the answer is all too clear. We should leave him alone. Alright. See ya. We haven't been to this place in a while, have we? No, we were just there. I like how she has little comments about each of them. Yes, I guess we'll head back here.
Bah! Ah, this is the wrong motion. Oh, there we go. Ah, you bear again. I was just about to deal my knees. Get the fuck out of here. Tell me, was the detective chap, I forget his name, still hard at work down there on the first floor? Yeah, whatever. All that detective business isn't really my thing, I'm afraid. Well, Mr. Sholmes is
in his element down there.
jolly good show. Another cup of tea, if you please, John, and don't spill it all over my loins. Now then, why don't you tell me— Fuck off! For the umpteenth time, woman, will you watch what your bolly were doing? How do we even still have tea in that pitcher of yours? I shall be serving dinner shortly, sir. That's all you wanted to tell me? You could have told me that with a tap on the shoulder, you bitch. I should fire her. Frightfully rude of me, but I'm afraid I shall have to ask you to take your leave, if you'd be so kind.
Oh yes, of course. We are deeply grateful for all of your assistance.
Not at all, not at all. Don't get much chance to talk with young foreigners like yourself. It's been a pleasure. Best of luck and all that. Perhaps you could see yourselves out. No Midwestern goodbyes here.
What's that on the floor?
What? Mr. Garadeb's hiding something. Since no other avenues of investigation seem open to us at the moment, perhaps we should do some digging. Yeah, was that... oh, I guess that's just nothing.
No.
Which, you were talking about this, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that seems to be nothing. It's Mr. Sholmes!
What's he doing over there? Mr. Sholmes? Aha! I followed you up here. We met again, my dear fellows.
Good gracious, when did you sneak in here?
Herlock Sholmes, sir, at your service. Whatever are you doing over by the window? I'm given to watching the evening sky as the sun sets, madam. Yet sadly, cheerful as the room downstairs undoubtedly is, it lacks an aperture for such observation. So I took the liberty of borrowing a small corner of space by the window up here.
But how did you even get in here? I didn't see the door open. I've been facing this direction all day.
Keep an eye to one's windows at dusk is the prudent thing to do in London, I'm gathering. And one other thing, Mr. Naruto. Me? I thought perhaps you might be in need of a certain great detective's great mind. Wait, he's not talking about... Is he? I didn't expect to be going through that again so soon. Oh dear, I'm blushing. Do you mean Mr. Sholmes? There is a mighty secret in this modest room, and I want to dance around the room and sillily point at things and make spotlights appear out of nothing. My eyes see even the most trivial of trifles. I take it you're prepared, Mr. Naruto. I think so. He's so excited! There's just enough time for one of my greatly admired great deductions. Let us conclude the matter before dark. Hooray! Mr. Garadeb, though it would seem you are a military man of considerably distinguished service, your standing as a landlord is most certainly not what you might call first-rate. Is any landlord first-rate? I don't think so. Huh? Huh? I'm afraid, sir, that it's all too clear to me. There are two conclusions I've been able to draw by careful observation of your living arrangements.
I beg your pardon?
Pardon? The first is that even as we speak, you are concealing the presence of a ferocious beast in your care.
Eh?
And the second is that as a result of the beast's violent rampage, you have lost something very dear to you. He's talking about the cat, isn't he? Mr. Naruhodo, please, look! The old man's broken out in a cold sweat. Unbelievably, it seems Mr. Sholmes' conclusions are both spot on.
How could you possibly?
How could I possibly know, you mean to inquire? Inquire? That's what I said. The answer couldn't be simpler. I wish I'd gotten an ice cream cone. The answer couldn't be simpler, sir. For in the dense jungle of logic and reasoning, I am the king of beasts. Meow.
Ah.
And I know only too well. Pilot! Pilot!
Hi, Pilot.
Blasphemy, I say! He's playing... I've never even fucking heard of this. Blasphemous? I'm not doing this now. Oh, he did get Paper Mario. Okay. Looking through
Sorry, while we,
Yeah, looking through Pilot's list of games is always a treat, because I never expect any of the things that he's played. Half the things I've never even heard of. Apparently this is Boyfriend Dungeon's a pretty good game. You can see all my friends. If you're not on this list, maybe you can add me. Anyway, I know only too well that wild beasts are not easily tamed. So, shall we begin? Once again, Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. Dance with me, Mr. Naruto. Nature of the beast.
So do you think Sherlock Sholmes, or
Yeah.
Sholmes is gay? Or do you think he's ace?
I don't think we know enough about him to really say one way or the other. I think I'd be more confident in saying that he's neurodivergent. He definitely seems that. He gives out that vibe a lot. Certainly shouldn't take a great detective to see. You're shadowed that a fearsome beast has been on the rampage of late within these four walls. Thus we are faced with the question, what form might the beast take? I mean, if you're gonna make it obvious like that, I mean, I might as well follow that gaze. Ah, for a man with a military breeding, your eyes are uncommonly candid. Your furtive glance, Mr. Garrett, leads us directly to the answer. The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by that lion statue. Yes, that one, he's probably actually looking at the cannon or something. Not the cannon itself, but the shells there on the shelf. Yes, though an army man, you appear unimposing at best. A fact that has been fueled by your admiration for the mighty lion, the king of beasts. What is this beautiful, I ask you? In the end, your admiration becomes so great, in fact, that you had a living, breathing specimen shipped from India, which you tried to keep in this very house. What? Whoa, hold on. What's that on the side of his face that's not facing us? Yet living with such a wild beast proved more difficult than you had imagined. Oh, maybe he wasn't looking away. He was trying to hide his face. The chilling traces of a wild rampage are still very much in evident. Well... Yet as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Or he was looking at us, maybe, I don't know. Where could this angry have disappeared to, madam? Me? I pray you do not consider me unchivalrous, but it is plain to me with one glance in your direction. It is. Your dress pocket gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. Oh. For protruding from it is a handbill advertising a circus show. Oh! Yes, you sought to dispose of this terrifying lion, Mr. Garrett. At Batty's Circus. That's a reference to Ace Attorney 6, I'm pretty sure. A traveling show currently sojourning in a nearby park. I have observed the tents. You sold the savage lion, sir, to the circus troupe.
Most of them they did not.
I believe I have made my point. A fearsome beast which ran amok in this room was an Indian lion. I don't think India has any lions. And a simple visit to the circus now will reveal a lion prancing jubilantly through a ring of fire. That is my deduction. Asiatic lion. Now, Mr. Garadeb, it is plainly clear that you still have deep feelings for this formidable beast. Indeed, in that blithe pose, the distress this loss has caused you is veritably tangible. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders, the pain you feel being revealed by that supporting arm. Amid fits of tears, you let your beloved beast go. The strain of losing something so dear to you is clearly visible in your visage.
Nonsense, man, I simply...
But what we must now ask ourselves is the true cause of this pain.
Is he missing an eye?
Perhaps. And we need only find the direction of your gaze to find the answer. Yes, it is this pile of bills that has given rise to the pain you suffer. Every envelope contains another demand for payment. Oh. For cartloads of meat, potatoes, wheat, and tea. All things that lions consume. Indeed, feeding your beloved has had a devastating impact on the financial circumstances of your household. and so you had no choice but to let it go.
Yes, well, you're right. I totally had a lion in here. I can't believe it. Now get out of my house. You figured it out at last.
Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last unimaginable attack.
Unimaginable?
It was, of course, the stain. The aftermath of which can be clearly seen by observing the carpet over there. Oh, okay, so from the other angle that we got, it did not look like this. It looked like it had a blood stain or something. Now it looks like, yeah, the rug is burnt.
Yeah,
and there's
that's
a candle. Yeah, I didn't realize that. Very expensive woolen carpet, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, dearie me.
What could have caused such a destructive outburst?
Oh.
This time, madam, I'm afraid it is you has inadvertently revealed the truth to me. Your wandering eyes settled upon the answer very neatly indeed. It is, of course, the cakes did it! They pushed the candle off the table! He starts punching the cakes. Bad cakes! No! Naughty!
Ah, yes, the cakes.
There's no creature more dangerous on this earth than a beast with an unsatiated appetite. Was it, or was it once not said by a certain noblewoman, if they have no bread, let them eat cake? Food is at the heart of all tragedy, in fact.
Whatever do you mean?
Having tired of the taste of cake, the beast began to stalk its next prey. I'm sure I need not spell out the nature of this final act of destruction carried out by the beast. There's only one logical conclusion. Walked into a frenzy by hunger, the lion attacked and ate the carpet. The carpet, I say. The teeth marks in the carpet are a perfect match with those of a lion I once saw in India. Cool. Okay. Thanks for that, Mr. Sholmes. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this beastly puzzle. That is the secret of which, nothing happened.
Nope, he still has the eye.
I like how he looked over, he's like, wait, what are you doing? Oh, no!
What is the matter with you, John? You're pouring scalding hot tea all over me.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Gardab. I'm afraid I didn't notice. I just thought you'd want some tea.
My deductions. I don't know why I did this voice.
My deductions can be startlingly sharp. It stands to reason that your cup runneth over. Indeed, my revelations can make people spill tears at times, too.
Oh.
Tears of frustration.
Mr. Sholmes, sorry to butt in. Again, but can I make an observation? Why, certainly, Mr. Naruto. What is it, again? Well, your deductions just now are stupid. Do you really think a lion could have fit inside a room of this size? It was a tiny lion. It was the lion from the Lion King, the tiny one. The terrifying truth all too often lies beyond the realms of common sense. But wouldn't it be an idea to consider what lies inside the realms of common sense as well? But if an uncaged lion had run amok in this very room, surely Mr. Garadeb and his maid would have been hurt, or worse, expelled. Ah, that's where you are stuck. They do not go to school, so they couldn't have been expelled. Oh, you're right, of course. No doubt the former military man held his own against the beast using that large cannon. I thought you said that they sold the lion to the circus. Nope, they killed it with the cannon. And what about the food? Meat and potatoes are one thing. But I don't believe I have ever heard of a lion that drinks tea. Ah, my dear Miss Susato, it appears that you, occurs to me with some regularity. You don't know what an English lion is. They regularly have tea around 1 p.m. That irrespective... What? Oh. That irrespective of race and breeding, whenever anyone lands on Great British soil, They are infused with a highly appropriate taste for afternoon tea. That's way funnier than what I thought I was gonna say. Oh, of course. Well then, Mr. Naruto, it's your turn to shine again. Take this tea and drink it. She just fucking pours it down his throat. Ah! I had a feeling that was coming. A slight massage, that's all Mr. Sholmes' deductions need. You can do it. You want me to give him a massage? Right now? With my hands? On his bare skin? Oh, I'm not ready. Cosmo was only a week ago. Excellent. I've been waiting for my trusty partner in deduction to step forward, Mr. Naruto. I want Mr. Wilson back, but he seems to be indisposed at the moment. He won't write me back. He won't return my letters. I wonder if he's trying to break up with me. Still, uncovering the truth is always...
That means I will be available here pretty soon.
If he doesn't want to respond to my letters, then I will remain single. Uncovering the truth is always worthwhile, whatever the motivation. At least, that's what I want to believe. Let us start again. From the beginning of Herlock Sholmes' logic and reasoning spectacular. Hold up. Alright. The fearsome beast has been on the rampage. What form might the beast take? He's looking at... For a man with military breeding, your eyes are uncommonly candid. Leads us directly to the answer. A lion. Well, that's not right. I really didn't see the lion thing coming. No, but if you observe Mr. Garradeb's reaction, it rather seems as though some beast did indeed run amok here in this room. Yes, something with a very fierce nature. But it couldn't have been a lion transported from India. So what was it then? We must follow Mr. Garradeb's gaze. That will lead us to the true answer. Oh, I don't get to actually look. Oh. Well, yeah, what's going on here? And why can't I turn anymore? Yeah, the lion statue's like in the way. They did that on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I want to just... okay, I can look at it without presenting. What's this photograph? Appears to be from Mr. Garradeb's...
Wedding?
Oh... That's the maid. She's not a maid, but his wife. And he wanted to be middle class, so he made her dress up and act like a maid. He looks very happy, doesn't he? He does, but you can't make out his bride. No, how unfortunate. Something must have struck the glass directly over the woman's face. I wonder what happened. Probably best not to delve too deeply there. The fact that I'm able to go into this makes me think that it's the bride, but like it's either that or the mortar shells, like I thought. Because I don't think I can click on anything else.
No.
I think it was the mortar shells. He said he'd been shot on the knee. No. For around that size hit his knee, there'd be nothing left of it. Or Mr. Garradeb, for that matter. Mr. Sholmes has a Persian slipper. And this man has spent shells. Perhaps it's customary in Britain to display, well, rubbish on the mantelpiece. I think because of the angle, I think that the photograph frame is what we're supposed to look at. This! Yeah! The true nature of this beast that has run rampant here is revealed by that newlywed bride. That doesn't sound right at all. Ah, precisely. That's what I was going to say. No other explanation could possibly fit. Yes, this frame print pictures your wife, Mr. Garradeb. And while we lament the fact that her face is obscured, we can still make out her mighty arms and note the considerable horsepower they must contain. Indeed, surely any woman of such powerful constitution would be honored to be described as a beast. Honored might be stretching a point. Too late. The fact remains that the beast, which so clearly savaged this room, was your wife, Mr. Garradeb. Where is she?
Oh, there's a handprint.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking it was. The chilling traces of a wild rampage are still very much in evidence. Well... Yet as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Where could this angry creature could have disappeared to? Madam? Oh no. I pray you do not consider me unchivalrous, but it is plain to me with one glance in your direction. It is? Your dress pocket is incorrect. And the poor, fragile, defenseless woman is behind herself. Beside herself, that's what I said. I don't know about fragile. Oh, you're so mean, you men. Anyway, Mr. Sholmes is quite right. There's no sign of a Mrs. Garradeb anywhere. It seems there may be a clue as to her whereabouts. A clue that this maid is trying to hide. I wonder where Mr. Garradeb's wife could be. I mean... It's the ring. I was just gonna point at our face. Okay, now that we're here, we can look at his... Huh. It's got a big old handprint. I wonder what he did to deserve that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we can look around. Oh, yeah, holy shit. There was a rampage throughout this room.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. I think everything else we've already seen.
Where's his wedding ring?
He's wearing one.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, he's wearing one.
Okay.
This! You married your maid! Oh, so when we were talking about him diddling the maid, that actually wasn't as scandalous as I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm.
Oh! Indeed it does. That flowery band gleaming on your finger gives you away. If we look at the picture again, it's actually kind of cute. You have got the ring, it has sort of a sun motif, and his face is shaped like the moon. It's kind of cute. For it is identical to the one shown in the hand of Mr. Garradeb's bride in this photographic print. Obviously, you killed her and took her place. He remarried using the same ring. In other words, you are no ordinary household maid. No. You are Mr. Garradeb's lucky bride. You are Mrs. Garradeb herself. Oh my word!
Well, it's your guys' fault for jumping in while we were role-playing.
Well, fully jolly fine detecting, sir. This is actually a British accent. I'm, as you rightly surmise, this is the wife, yes. Ma Jeanne. Rather letting herself go, you might say, but she was a bally cool. Sorry, wife of mine.
It would appear that you don't live in the most comfortable of circumstances. After all, you are a retired army man, yet here you are in the business of renting out rooms. I would assume, therefore, that you have insufficient means to employ a maid. Would that be correct?
It's not right, I tell you. I was second lieutenant of the 3rd Regiment. A man has his pride, you know. By golly, it is a sorry thing that when a chap can't even afford to have a single maid in his employ.
Yes, here in London, one is rather judged. A household cannot be considered worthy of society if it employs no staff at all. That certainly has changed in the last 100 years, hasn't it? Though in my considered opinion, such concerns about appearances are a folly. You mean Mr. Garrideb has his wife work as his maid? Precisely. Am I right, Mr. Garrideb?
No, she wanted to.
She wanted to roleplay, and I wasn't going to say no.
I can't run away. Look at my knee.
You know how I could count the amount of orgasm women in this country have in a year on one hand. If it makes her happy, it makes me happy, okay? You understand that? I'm a good husband. Only in company, obviously, but listen here, this must remain a secret. Tip-top secret, please. His wife. The Beast.
Now, Mr. Garrideb, it is plainly... When was the vibrator... I get so distracted. When was the vibrator invented? I mean, dildos have been around for centuries. Millennia. Hello. It's plainly clear that you still have deep feelings for this formidable beast. We're gonna point it to your handprint now. The stress this loss has caused you is veritably tangible. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders. The pain you feel being revealed by that supporting arm. Yes, as a woman, that feels rather uncomfortable. But Mrs. Garrideb is standing right beside her husband as we speak. In other words, he hasn't lost his beloved at all, has he? Oh, how true. So perhaps that supporting arm seems to be propping up his head has some other significance then. According to Mr. Sholmes...
I have to do something.
Yeah? Okay, that is quite something. According to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Garrideb's pain is tangible, though. What could that pose of his really signify? I wonder what it could mean. Slap. Hold on, bring that back over here so I can roll Smikey's back. There we go. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders. The pain you feel being revealed by that slapped cheek.
It's kinky, no?
Of course, the deliverer of that impressive mark on your cheek that refuses to fade.
How the fuck did
Yeah,
she
how the
slap?
fuck did... She did a fucking downward slap. Was you, Madame Joan Garrideb? What is this face she's doing? She's
Please
slapping
don't accuse me. I am innocent.
She's slapping her own face. Yeah, hold on. Maybe he slapped his own face too. Oh yes. You have been desperate to hide the snap mark on your cheek, sir. Ah.
How the blazes. How did you work that out, man?
Well, there's kind of a...
Nothing escapes the notice of one trained in the art of observation, my dear fellow. That's why you haven't looked directly at us even once. To keep your other side from view.
Well, humph.
Now, let us proceed to the next conundrum. Why were you subjected to such a violent slap? I don't know. Maybe, you. In other words, we must ask ourselves what's caused Madame Garrett to fly into a rage. It was
my god, he fucked the woman and then she got into a rampage and killed her across the street.
Maybe. No, it's not the pile of bills. It is, Mr. Naruto. Jump in. We've established that the lion never existed, which can only mean that the thing responsible for gobbling up all that food was Mr. Garredeb's wife. Mr. Naruto, she's a person, not a thing. Oh, yeah, well, she's also a person who gave her husband a mighty slap around the face. One so hard it left a perfect handprint mark in fact.
Still don't know how the fuck that happened.
Yeah, why would a woman want to hit her husband with such force? I will say nothing. I'd love to know the answer to that question, but I will never have to worry about that. I don't want a wife. I'm Mr. Naruto, best friend to Kazuma-san. We shared a bedroom together on the ship right over here.
Closet.
I was in the closet the whole time. Anyway.
Well, he was out of the closet.
I was gonna say the dress on the cannon, but I mean, the bookmark seems like it's the better option here. Ah, the books, of course! She's mad at books! Specifically the bookmark! Yeah, no, it's the bookmark. Wait, what? What caused the most pain to any man? A bookmark! Losing the place in the book you're reading. Or worse, dropping someone else's bookmark and getting a slap for it. That deduction was wanting in every way. You! That's right! I find myself whenever wanting to have heard it. I'm quite pained by it, in fact. Well, shit. I probably should have looked at it first.
Yeah, probably.
Not like it's obvious. Don't we? A slap across the cheek, which left that bright red mark. Mr. Garrett and his wife seem to share a deep and loving bond. Uh-huh. Yeah? Uh-huh. Shut up. I know what it is. I know what I'm supposed to do it. Just please be... You seem to know a lot about the ways of the heart, Mr. Naruto. I read it in a popular novel that I borrowed from Kazuma. Here. Hey, Ryunosuke. Borrow this romance novel. I think you could take some tips from it. Okay! Boom! Way over his head. Alright, I'll look at the bookmark. Ah, someone must be reading this book at the moment. There's a bookmark here, look. Mr. Garredeb is clearly an avid reader. Oh, wait a minute.
There are kissy lips.
I don't think this is a bookmark. Oh no, so it isn't. It's a note written in a woman's hand. Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary. What's Garredeb's first name? And look at the signature here. Lip marks! Made with lipstick! This is way more interesting than that murder case we're supposed to be solving. What a passionate and romantic gesture. But wait, I don't think Mr. Garredeb's wife her first name is Mary. What's going on here?
And she doesn't look to be wearing lipstick.
This bookmark is actually a love note then. Ta-da! Bam, 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 bam. Mr. Natsume in the cell. Hello? Mr. Lore? You're coming back to help me, right? Yes, that love note has given rise to the pain you suffer. Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary. Passionate indeed. I gotta know. It's not even his name! Perhaps the sender of this note, a certain Miss Mary, is the fly in the ointment here. It's a very rare phrase, but I have actually heard that one before. Holy shit. That doesn't even make sense! Get the thumbs up! Okay. But I don't know the Bali woman. You don't know her? That note wasn't written to me. It was just in the book. I don't know how it got there. That's actually really weird of you to say. You should just throw it away. It was just in there, you say? That's right. That's what I've been saying. A likely story. Now listen here, Joel, no thing. I explained it at the time. I bought the book at the second-hand place, and that note... Wait, do we actually know someone named James? Because I want this tea. Damn it.
No,
we don't.
not yet. Might be the guy in the...
Yeah, maybe. The previous owner of the book was using the note as a bookmark, you mean. How is it not overflowing now?
It's going directly into my stomach.
Portals, man. You gotta think with portals. That's hard.
It waits until you speak. A
Likely story. For heaven's sake, woman, look at the name. It's written to James. I know that's your name. It's John. My name, in case you've forgotten, is John. I don't have any genitals left, woman. Stop it. Are you questioning my name now? And there we have it. Arouse the suspicions of the female heart, and you unleash a beast with the most ferocious bite. Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last, unimaginable attack. She stabbed the woman. Unimaginable. Aftermath of which can be clearly seen by observing the carpet over there. A very expensive woolen carpet, if I'm not mistaken. Oh dear me. What could have caused such a destructive outburst? It was, of course, the cakes. Again. No, not the cakes. Not the cakes. The candle right next to it. But surely Mrs. Garrett didn't eat the carpet. No, of course not. That doesn't. There doesn't seem to be any doubt that the state of disarray in this room is a result of her wild temper. No, that's true. So this is the last part of Mr. Shulm's deduction that we need to fix. We need only to follow Mrs. Garrett's gaze, and that will tell us the real answer. Alright, let's see what we can find. It was the circus! Whabam! To explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the candlestick. Most illuminating, my dear fellow, and of course the only possible way out of this logical labyrinth. Yes, the remnants of a ferocious attack in which the carpet was devoured are clearly visible. It was devoured by fire. The beast of the king of the elements, I think. I don't know.
The dragon.
The dragon. Yes, there was dragon in this room, but not a lion. That's silly. Indeed they are. The scorch marks at the edge clearly give the truth away. Scorch marks. It would appear that this room was the scene of a little marital altercation. Mrs. Garrett's mighty arm muscles left an impression not only on her husband's face. She smacked the fucking candle. But on the entire room. The force of her strike caused the candle to fall from the holder and onto the carpet. In seconds, the carpet was alight, and the whole corner of the room in flames. Oh, so they put the thing there to hide the most of the damage.
Not only that, would the smoke go down?
No, smoke goes up. For the most ferocious beast in this world is neither a violent lion nor a vengeful woman, but fire. And in this room, that ferocious beast bared its claws and ran amok. Eloquently put, my dear fellow. So as you see, there is but one conclusion here. Nothing. All that happened was, all that we found out was that, after the sparks of marital discord flew, this room was the scene of a fire!
They had to have opened the window to let the smoke out.
Mr. Sholmes, I salute you! Okay, bye. Deduction complete.
Elementary.
It's these dashed long winter nights, you know. Nothing but to do but to read in front of the fire. Luckily, there's a jolly good second-hand bookshop just around the corner. Buy all of my old novels there. And in the pages of one particular novel, you discovered some rather illicit material. For which your wife admonished you harshly, it seems. Don't know about admonished. Demolished might be rather closer to the mark. And Beast is most certainly apt to... I deserve that! Here we go again. And the carpet? Was that destroyed by a fire when a candle fell to the floor? Afraid to say it was. Happened in the blink of an eye, you know. The whole place filled with smoke. Couldn't see a bally thing. I was caught between the old stick's rage and the raging flames. Kinky. You paint a torrid picture, sir, or one that would have been most entertaining. That's sympathy for you. Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The bally furniture started going up as well. We've had to hide the mess behind that screen for the time being. Over there, Mr. Garrett? Stop looking at it. We have nothing to hide now, only if you'll allow me. Watcha! There's a whole bookcase here. And all of my favorite old novels in that case. But as soon as the fire got hold of them, that was it. Whoosh, up in smoke. I mean, there's clearly, like 3 or 4 books there got burned, but most of them seem fine. Gosh. The wife started hurling things at me. You guys had a fire, put it out, and continued to fight?
No, they were still fighting while the fire was going.
Yeah! There I was, backed up against the window, under heavy preliminary fire. Incendiary books coming 10 to the dozen. She threw fucking flaming books at you?
Dude. This is an abusive relationship. Get out.
Most of it is I lost my favorite, the book called The Lion's Pride. You really do like lions, eh? Yes, your notorious love of big cats coming through again. I assure you the title didn't influence my choice in the slightest. I just like cats. So the poor man really did lose something dear to him as a result of the ferocious beast's rampage. Mr. Sholmes' deductions turned out to be correct once again. No! No, no, no! No! It can only be described as a great British wonder. I tell you, it was total carnage. Flames everyone, and the old stick in fourth fettle. Out of interest, what time of day was that? 5 o'clock. It was 2 days ago now, let's see, around 5, I think. So you couldn't have done the fucking murder, I see. As a terrifying incident was unfolding outside your window on the street below. Yeah, I was a little distracted by the terrible incident going on in my fucking bedroom. Anyway, even more terrifying on the inside, I can assure you. The whole of Blighty could have flattened outside of my window at that moment, and I wouldn't have noticed a dashed thing. Oh, really? Yep, this has been a complete waste of your time. Thanks for coming.
But now I am off. Off with you.
We're getting a divorce now. Mr. Sholmes? Yes, Mr. Naruto. What can I do for you? Well, I think I've got to the bottom of Mr. Garrett's situation now. But what does it have to do with Mr. Natsume's circumstances? Oh, anyone? God, I'm so alone. I can't help you there, I'm afraid. My dear fellow, if you recall, I did say as much from the outset. I just wanted to know the secret. I just wanted to spill the tea, as they say. I warned you that although I knew the retired army man may be to be hiding something, I could not be sure whether his secret would prove to be a bit of relevance or not. I just knew you were going to say that. Ah ha ha ha! This has been a colossal waste of our time. Now, Mr. Naruto, you mustn't lose heart. What were you going to say?
Someone's going to probably have seen the fight or been drawn in from the fight, and there could be another witness.
Yeah, they said that they already had witnesses. I just don't think that either of these two... I mean, if they did see something, we're not going to find that out till, like, the next day of the case or something like that. All things fall into two categories. Those relevant to the case and those not. That makes no sense to me. Well, you're an idiot. It is of far greater importance that you make up your mind now. Sorry? Visiting hours at the prison will soon be over. Ah, shit. Is that time already? If we're to accept Mr. Natsume's case, we have official paperwork to attend to. So that's it. No more time to think. Perhaps you'd like to betake yourselves to bidding us farewell now. I must prepare supper for Mr. Garrett. Oh yes, I'm so sorry. Thank you both very much for your time. Soseki-san will be waiting for us, and I'm going to have to give him an answer. How old is everybody? Yeah, we already talked about him being 33. Oh, he likes him young.
Hmm?
He likes him young.
Oh, wow.
It's not a huge age difference, 8 years, but still.
That'd be like me dating my brother. Brother's age.
Not unusual.
No. Especially in those times when when women had to get married very young and quickly.
Yeah. Alright. Bye! Alright, back to the prison. This is not the prison. I definitely clicked on the prison. It's time, Mr. Naruto. We must hurry back to the prison. Yeah, I know. Let's air a carriage. Oh. What's the matter? Looks like something's going on over there in front of the Gyarados house. Where we just left? What? Ho ho ho! I know the not land fall to thy prayers! Oh my god, these are characters. Who you calling an old man, you rum-looking niminy-piminy? Ho ho, there are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are these two are dating. Than are dreamt of in your philosophy. Who's this Horatio fellow, eh? What you on about? Excuse me? Meh? What the who you there?
Oh, pretty lady.
I'm sorry, it just looked as though there might be some problem here. And my associate here, Mr. Ryunosuke Naruto, is a lawyer, you see. A lawyer? What? If I can be of any assistance, I'd be happy to help. I'm just gonna poke my nose in every problem I find. Fine, I'll be on my way for today, but you mark my words. This ain't over yet. What the fuck is this? We're gonna get danced on. West Side Story, bitch. Look at this pose, Kristen. This ain't over yet, you say? Cheesy, get thee to a nunnery. Do I look like a bloomin' nun to you?
So it's a gesture.
I do hope you're not injured. I was packing heat. Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so gentle.
Please don't. No, that. Not that voice.
Thank you. What was that all about? There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, that are dreamt of in your philosophy. That better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. I'm not Horatio either. Forgive the inquiry, sir, but are you a sir? In the Garrideb residence? Oh, fair eastern maiden, thou art so right. Yes, I do dwell in this humble abode. I told you. Mr. Garrideb mentioned that he had another lodger, didn't he? This must be the man. Do you happen to know the other lodger who lives on the first floor? I live on the first floor. You mean Natsume? How more worthy a polemace in the battle of words there could there be? Sorry, battle did you say? Who is the stronger, Hamlet or Macbeth? Mr. Natsume and I sparred long into the night. You wrestled with each other, I see. This game's really fucking gay. I don't fully understand, but it seems Mr. Natsume and this gentleman are acquaintances at least. So far, maiden, so I killed him because he thought Hamlet was better than Macbeth. That's literally my entire reasoning. I can tarry here no longer. Fare thee well. I didn't really understand him, but I think he's returned to his room. It seems he's unaware of what happened to Mr. Natsume, so he can't really help us. With Sasaki-san and that man as lodgers, the Garrideb house is certainly full of eccentrics. Anyway, I'm sure Mr. Natsume is eagerly waiting our return. Let's hope we can get to the prison before visiting hours are over. Local prison, cell 9. Oh, it's here. You're here. You came. Locum student Mr. Naruto Esquire. I can't believe you came back. I'm so touched! We are so sorry to have kept you waiting, Mr. Natsume. Oh, no. Think nothing of it. Relax. If I were a cat, I would purr with pleasure at the company of such fine compatriots. Noble, nurturing, never-failing Nipponese. Oh, now, let's not get carried away. Oh, I quite agree. There's nothing more reassuring than the familiarity of one's native land. On the other hand... That's not who I thought it was going to be. It is through friendship transcending international borders that one truly appreciates the fact. Why would we not be speaking Japanese to the Japanese person? Why does the Englishman get to intrude on our conversation? It's you, the miserable rotten spy, Sherlock Sholmes. I think we posed. Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing here? I'm going to kill this man. I've no intention of doing anything per se, just save observing, of course. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? Well, having encountered some curious reading material in that gloomful room, and having unmasked the secret identity of that eccentric pair, I decided I should drop on my way home to see how our divested friend is faring. Gloomful room? At least your accommodation here offers a window, my dear fellow. In that sense, it is a superior option. Anyway, I must commend you on your taste in books. My day has been a delight and cost me not a penny. Ah, you! How dare you, Sherlock Sholmes! Sherlock Sholmes. Ugh. I've had it. I'm through. I'm at the end of my rope. I should never have come to Great Britain. It was a terrible mistake. I've been here a week. Haunted by spirits in those accursed lodgings. No doubts my luck will be cursed in tomorrow's trial as well. My whole life is bedamned. What are you thinking, Mr. Naruto? He mentioned that once before, didn't he? That his lodgings were cursed, I mean. And there is much truth in Mr. Mustache's words. What? Cursed is a wholly appropriate description, I would say. For the man's lodgings, and indeed for tomorrow's trial, there are ghosts afoot. What? Well, can't examine anything in here. Mr. Natsume, what did you mean by what you said just now? About the trial tomorrow being cursed? Oh no, why are you looking so grave? You're making me nervous. I was just getting carried away, that's all. I didn't mean anything by it. Oh, I see. That's really agitated him. You don't mean the trial really is cursed somehow? Of course it is. Are you referring to the prosecutor, the Reaper of the Bailey? The Reaper? Oh no, what do you mean? Please tell me, summarize succinctly in 16 salient syllables. No defendant has ever survived a trial in which the Reaper stands for the prosecution ever. You've got one more word. Oh my goodness! No, I counted. No defendant has ever survived a trial in which the Reaper stands for the prosecution. I miscounted. That was 16 words exactly! Yesterday, Mr. Naruto successfully defended someone against the Reaper, but then, after the trial was over, why would you tell him this? The defendant passed away in unusual circumstances, so you're gonna die either way. Good to know. Why would you tell me that? Now I'm even more worried! I'm impressed, Miss Susato. You have an eye for detail. Actually, the Lord Chief Justice told us. Mr. Sholmes, surely it can't be that just having failed to have the accused convicted... Wait, surely it can't be that having failed to have the accused convicted, Lord Van Zeeks killed the man himself. Well, now that we've said it, now it's not the case. Mm-hmm. Oh no, he couldn't have surely. You have some wonderful notions! I love the fact that we can have 3 models on screen, each doing distinctly different actions at the same time. This game is fucking phenomenal. Sorry? The man isn't a mass murderer, he's a court prosecutor, my dear fellow. Of course! Of course he is, then why try to scare me? It could be said, however, that the real truth about the man is even more terrifying than your hypothesis. What on earth do you mean by that? When you said accursed lodgings before, you were referring to a room at Mr. Garadeb's house, I assume. Do you mean to say that you believe the place is cursed? It's been a year now since I came to Great Britain, but I'd only been in London a week before I started... Oh, so he's been here a year? I started to notice strange...
He probably had to move.
Yeah. Notice strange feelings in myself. That didn't take long then. Everywhere I looked, there were foreign faces staring at me, laughing behind my back. I was sure people were talking about me. I started to become nervous about going outside. They were always staring at me all the time, from dawn till dusk. So I shut myself away in my room, but even that didn't help. The fear wouldn't go away. You must have been very lonely, having been away from your homeland for such a long time. I've had to move a number of times. Most recently to that room in Briar Road a week ago now. Yes, why did you choose there? It seems a little inconvenient. The rent is cheap. I have so little money. It appealed to me straight away. Of course, I asked why it was so affordable. The landlord just simpered and said, "The room is cursed." Oops! He quickly tried to cover his mistake, but it was too late, so I told him, "If you have something to say, then say it. But if not, don't mention it there in the first place." Yeah, well said. But it was true. It was all true. You mean, the room really is cursed, then? ever since I moved into that windowless hellhole. My sleep has been plagued with nightmares. I wake feeling as though I've been being choked at... It's the cat. I waking hours, people are stabbed in front of me as I walk down the street. I'm branded a killer, thrown in the prison. It was the cat. The cat stabbed the woman with a knife. Thrown in prison. Nobody wants to know me. I'm surrounded by scary, sinister spirits. If only there was someone, just one person on my side. Got no one find it in his or her heart to believe in me. Really no one at all. To believe. Yes, to believe. I believe. I'm gonna talk to the Reaper. Van Zieks is quite an exceptional man. However, in the London courts of law, exceptional does not equate to winning every case without exception. That's good. Soseki-san looks like he's going to cry tears of joy. As you have no doubt aware, in a British criminal trial, there is both a judge and a jury. The judge officiates based on the letter of the law, whilst the jury offers public opinion and common sense. It is an excellent system whereby the defendant's guilt is considered from several points of view. However, public opinion in particular is somewhat easily manipulated, because they're racist. Criminals and corrupt lawyers, for that matter, can use it to their advantage, by any means at their disposal. Contriving evidence, calling imposters as witnesses, and so on. But I thought the prosecution were the ones that called witnesses. But by such other hand means, those who want to are able to sway the jury. Which means that even in the light of irrefutable evidence, the prosecution can fail. But it means the wrong verdict can be passed. Correct! And sadly, it is from the time to time, my dear madam, just simply the reality of British law. We suck here. Anyway, those indicted by Lord Van Zieks cannot escape justice. Their fate is sealed. Oh my. Though the education may see them leave their courtroom with their freedom, within months, they all die. That's really suspicious, actually. I really am thinking that Lord Van Zieks is the murderer. Disappear? But how? Ah, by all manner of misfortune, sir. Perhaps they trampled under a passing carriage. Perhaps they fall into the Thames and... Thames. Thames? How do you pronounce it, Kristen?
I don't know, Thames.
Okay. Perhaps they are surely overcome by a raging fever, or perhaps attacked by highwaymen. Oh, no. All examples of the reality of the events here in London, I'm afraid, Mr. Naruto. Yeah, he definitely fucking did it then. I knew it. A dead dodo, done for, doomed! Would the dodos still have been alive at this point in time?
I think so.
Mr. Sholmes. That's me! Pray, what can I do for you? It's about the case on the SS Buria, if you recall. The Buria. Ah, that case! The one with the snake? Well, yeah. At that time, I was the suspect, but you believed in me and listened to my side of the story. And you helped us investigate. I did I? I don't recall. What I want to know is, why? Why did you believe in me? I just told you I don't remember. You mean... Because you are grimly dressed. Shady Eastern fellow found with the victim in a locked room? Well, if you like, yeah. I'm a little surprised that the answer requires explanation, my dear fellow. It's quite simple, really. You said I didn't do it. But I could have been lying. Surely you must have had your doubts. You must have suspected me a little. You're right! I think perhaps you have misunderstood. I neither recall believing you, nor in that which you in which you were telling me. What? You see, the only things I believe in are those I choose to believe in. I'm a real character, aren't I? What do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? I make up my own mind about what's to believe and what is not. I get all my news from a reliable source. The National Enquirer. If I should like to believe in something, I do. The circumstances can hang as far as I am concerned. But I could have betrayed your trust. Ah ha ha! No. In that case, I should have made an elementary error of judgment, nothing more. Betrayal of trust is an overused excuse, in my opinion. Meaning? Whether or not one should trust another is, in the final analysis, down to oneself. This is a matter of whether or not one can trust oneself. Yes, he's right. He's right, locum student Mr. Naruto Esquire. Whether or not I can believe myself. That sounds like something Kazuma would say. I don't recall Kazuma ever saying that. You know, we've never seen Kazuma and Herlock Sholmes in the same room at the same time. Well, my dear fellows, it is time we were leaving, I believe. Already? Visiting hours are over. The guard will be here shortly to escort us out. Unless we got ourselves arrested between now and that time. There's a restaurant near here that serves excellent trout. Would you care to join me? I know how much you Easterns like their fish. I'm not really sure what to say to that, but I actually could go for trout right now. Oh dear, there's never enough time, is there? Well, goodbye. Enjoy that trout without me. Sounds really good. Okay, I'll just sit here on my cot, waiting for the inevitable. If you'd like, in the trial tomorrow, I'd be happy to represent you. Locum student Mr. Naruto Esquire. As I said, I only experienced the British courtroom for the first time yesterday. And although the man I was representing was found not guilty, I lost sight of something crucial. Something crucial? What to believe in. The defendant, justice, or the truth. How to believe, even. But I think I've finally worked it out. I've decided I must believe in myself above all else. To trust my instincts. Yeah, Mr. Naruto. And my instincts are telling me that you, Mr. Natsume, are innocent of this crime. And it's imperative that we prove that in court. Locum student Mr. Naruto Esquire. I will fight for your innocence until the bitter end, with every weapon available to me. So I hope you'll permit me to represent you tomorrow. Locum student, as I said when we first met, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who will listen to me in my native tongue. Of course, Mr. Natsume. It would be fair to say, Mr. Naruto, that I've been making it up as I go along. I can't actually speak Japanese. You all sound really weird to me. I can't understand a word you're saying. Your mind was, in many ways, made up from the outset. You merely needed the events of today to fully realize it. Yes, I needed a dance with the detective in the pale moonlight to make me realize my true thoughts on the matter. It's been a roundabout journey, but I got there in the end. That is a deep cup of tea. Never mind. Miss Susato. Yeah? Would you be willing to stand by my side tomorrow and help me in court? Nope. I'm just gonna fuck off and do my own thing. I came here as a judicial assistant, but I'm not gonna do my job. As I said this morning, you may consider me your personal judicial assistant. Hooray! The shocking events of yesterday's trial still weigh heavily on my mind, but it's time to stop looking backwards. Kazuma believed in me, and Mr. Sholmes believes in me now, too. So it's time. Time that I learnt to believe in myself. Sasaki-san has no one. He's all alone, so it's my job to help him, to fight his corner in the courtroom. With all the strength I can muster, I'm gonna punch that fucking prosecutor in the nose. And long. Come on, man. Yeah. The 20th of February. It's 9:23 a.m. Well, I never expected this. Who'd have thought we'd be back here again so soon? We are on a study tour of Great Britain with the intention of learning the country's legal practices. In order to research the latest court procedures here, we need as much court experience as possible. Well, yeah, I suppose that's true, but for the person in the dock, it may well be his or her only time in court. And it could be life-changing, in which case treating it as research may seem a little crass. Oh, when you put it like that, you're quite right. Good morning! It is I, the defendant. Good morning. Oh dear, are you alright? Your eyes are terribly bloodshot. Early bird catches the worm, as they say here in Britain. Yes, I've heard that expression before. I really don't want to catch a worm. So I desperately tried not to wake up early, but I was so worried I couldn't catch a wink. And now I'm absolutely exhausted as a result. Do all literary people take things so literally? Literally? Literally. Thank you for putting your faith in us today, Mr. Natsume. I wish I had 9 lives. My whole future hangs in the balance. I'm too terrified to tremble. Really? Because I can feel tremors on the floor. I can't do this. I can't take this. We're not gonna take it. Yeah? I caught a glimpse of the public gallery as I walked by the courtroom. It looked the opening night of the opera. There were so many people. I had no idea my case was such a notorious affair here in London. Oh, yeah. Neither did I. Do you know why that might be, Mr. Susato? I have no idea. So that all-knowing look on your face is just coincidence then, huh? Don't hide the truth from me! It's because of the Reaper, isn't it? Oh, Lord Van Zeeks? Is that right, Miss Susato? He's so handsome, Mr. Naruto, I couldn't help it. I purchased as many different newspapers as I could find this morning, and yes, Lord Van Zeeks is on the front page of every one. Really? That big news. Huh. I knew it. Sometime after the prosecutor was dubbed the Reaper of the Bailey, he stopped appearing in court, it seems. It's been several years now, in fact, until the day before yesterday. Yeah, Inspector Gregson told us something similar, didn't he? It must be a slow news day. Trial 2 days ago marked Lord Van Zeek's return to the courtroom after a very long hiatus. Trial of Magnus McGilded. Ugh, what a harrowing experience that was. I believe that appearance made it even greater waves here than the capital than today's. But we wouldn't have realized, of course, having only just arrived in the country. Why is the Reaper back in the Bailey so soon, for what appears to be a mundane murder? That's the question the papers are asking, and they are all speculating various answers. Mundane? Mundane? It's the most significant saga of the century to some of us! Oh dear, I meant no offense, Mr. Natsume, but that is how the papers are describing it. We didn't fucking learn anything about the murderer. We spent like the whole day investigating and we didn't learn anything. We have 3 pieces of evidence, and one is my armband. And another is a map. Obviously, the reappearance of this infamous prosecutor has caught people's attention, but there's another blatant similarity to the trial of 2 days ago. Yeah, I agree. Locum student Mr. Naruto Esquire, it's you! Me? Well, I suppose that's true. Both times it is you who stands against this legendary prosecutor. It can only mean that you're friends with the Reaper! No. I don't rub shoulders with Deathbringers and racists. I'm afraid there's only one other explanation. It can only be another example, Mr. Naruto, of your uncommon bad luck. Thanks for that. Oh, this is just my luck. Why must I be represented by a man with such frail fortune? By the least lucky lawyer alive. Thanks. That it was you, Mr. Natsume, who asked me to represent you. Yes, it's true that I'm just a student, new to London, with little in the way of experience or skills, or luck. That's it. That's all I was saying to say. I don't have anywhere to go from here. I still promise you this. I will fight your corner until the bitter end, and I will believe in you, Mr. Natsume. Oh, benevolent locum student, Mr. Naruto Esquire. You're not alone here with us, Mr. Natsume. Whatever happens, we will always be on your side. Oh, benevolent non-locum assistant, Mr. Mikotoba Esquire. I'm in your debt forever. Yeah, our last person paid us 1,000 guineas, so that's gonna be what you have to pay us. So I hope you're ready. Mr. Natsume, counsel for the defense. The court session is about to begin. Kindly make your way into the courtroom at once. Alright then, Mr. Natsume. You owe me 1,000 guineas. Let's go. I don't have that kind of money. Alright, bye. See you tomorrow. My second appearance in the British courtroom, and my second trial against the Reaper. That's not the Reaper. That's Kazuma. Ryunosuke, that's Kazuma, right? If you've really forgotten what he looks like. Because this time I won't let my faith waver. I believe in my client to the last, just like you believed in me. I believe I can do this now. I'm ready for this fight. The trial is set to begin. 20th of February, 10 o'clock. We spent 40 minutes talking to him? No way! In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is fully prepared, my lord. The defense is ready, my lord. God damn it, not this kid again. The Nipponese are a truly fascinating breed. Sorry, what? Lord Strongheart has told me all about you. That you are a student who arrived in London but 2 days ago, a mere amateur.
Beat you last time.
Do you have a point, bitch? Being a compatriot, you feel compelled to try to help the accused, I suppose. Typical Nipponese arrogance. Forgive me, but I do not believe arrogance is an appropriate description. Susato-san. After all, at our previous encounter, the defendant was found to be innocent. Right. I'm going to warn you, I only have 10 of these glasses left. I've been keeping track. It's not that hard. I only crashed 2 of them last time. Very true. A most fascinating, if dark, trial it was too. The tragic conclusion came later, of course, when I set the man on fire. I mean, I did not do that. No, I did not do that. Yes. Okay. You gonna come back? Alright. Here's to the acquitted and his unfortunate violent end. Thank you, counsels. I see both sides are in fine fettle. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are you ready to carry out your duties here in court as impartial members of the public? Yeah. I must warn you, I'm rather more ruthless than up here. Dude. Wait a second. Hold on. Hey, wait a fucking second. Conflict of interest? What the fuck? Oh, sorry, didn't quite catch that. Well, other than that last one, let us proceed. Opening statement, if you please, Lord Von Zeeks. Very recently, Great Britain signed an alliance with a rising power in the Far East. The accused in the dock today is a student from that same land, a certain Mr. Soseki Natsume. And while our country has extended this foreign student the warmest of welcomes, regrettably the kindness has not been returned. In fact, the student is accused of a most sinister act. Oh no, my glass! I dropped it! Shit, I was going to drink that! Damn it, it slipped from my finger. I just wanted to do it automatic. Oh, God. This is all your fault, Nipponese. Of plunging a knife into the back of an innocent woman who was doing nothing but walking down the street. Well, knife crime, I can tell you from Britain experience, those are the worst bloody oath they are. Just look at that swallow complex and short stature. He's one of those dreadful Japanese. Come on, let's get this over with. With me now, everyone. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Your eagerness. Pray, forgive the discourtesy of smashing my hollow chalice here in this great chamber. It is a set of 12, and I am down to 9. God damn it. Allow me to call the first witness to the stand. Very well. Well, let the inspector in, please. Your name and occupation, please. Yes, sir. Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector at Scotland Yard. Would you please summarize the events of the case for the court, Inspector? The victim is thought to be a young woman in her 20s by the name of Olive Green. I beg your pardon, Inspector, thought to be? Yes, having been stabbed in the back by our attacker's knife, the victim fell unconscious. That was 3 days ago now, and she's been comatose ever since. What? So they don't even know who she is for sure? Comatose, I see. But her life is not in danger. Unfortunately for the Eastern student, the charge will not be murder. Please elaborate on the details, Inspector. Sir, if I could ask everyone to look at this street map. There you go. As I mentioned, the incident took place 3 days ago, at around 5 in the afternoon. It happened on the pavement, running alongside Briar Road, a wide thoroughfare for horse-drawn vehicles. And not long stops knowing as the victim, Miss Green, was walking down the street. Out of the blue, she was approached from behind by the accused and stabbed in the back. That's it. That's all we found. Luckily, the young lady's life was spared, and she's currently being treated in one of the city's hospitals. But being unconscious as she is, we've been unable to take a statement from her, of course. This is the case file with everything we know about the victim so far. Thank you, Inspector. The court will accept the documents as evidence, if you please. And what of the weapon that was used? Sir, I have that here. It was removed from the victim's back. Ow. This big thing is starting to make me scared to walk down the street now. With a heavy blade like that, almost anybody would have been able to stab the poor woman. Even the scragged looking Sasaki-san, I suppose. A common garden jackknife, I would say, rather nondescript. Thank you, Inspector. The court accepts the blade as evidence. Okay. Should I look at that shit? I'm gonna do that now. Now then, what do we know of the motive? Money or valuables, I presume? From what we can tell by looking at the woman's possessions, it seems like she's a poor student herself. Hold. I don't imagine she would have had anything much worth pinching, my lord. I see. Well, in that case, are we looking at some deep-seated resentment towards the victim? I don't know. Olive green, female, stout build, early 20s, prior east side. Rolly beat. Victim's remains unknown. Her name is gleaned from her personal effects. Other details are unknown. Seen running away from them by the reporting officer. Okay. Whoosh. Where's all the blood? Nothing of interest, huh? I'm afraid I couldn't say. Apart from visiting secondhand bookshops, the defendant, Mr. Natsume, doesn't appear to get out much. At this moment in time, we haven't been able to establish any sort of connection between him and the victim. Hi! I agree! Theft and grievance have been ruled out as the motive. What reason could Mr. Natsume possibly have had for stabbing a young woman? Yet you arrested the man in spite of that, in a totally unjustified and heavy-handed way. Shut the fuck up. Yeet! This bitch empty. Please pray forgive the discourtesy of flinging a freshly uncorked bottle into the public gallery. Oh my god! But your words have soured its hallowed banquet. For it is you, my learned friend, who's being heavy-handed here. What? Scotland Yard does not arrest people without good cause. That should be without a question. Inspector Gregson, the prosecution calls for your formal testimony. Explain to the court precisely why the constabulary came to arrest a Nipponese student. Racist, sir. Ah, very good. As I said, it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon when the incident occurred. There was an unusually light fog. Visibility was reasonably good. There was no one else about but the victim and the accused. Out of the blue, the victim was stabbed.
It's so cute.
Oops. Did I do that? I love you.
Where'd you get it?
Target. Love you.
I love you too.
Out of the blue, the victim was stabbed from behind and I can't talk today. It's so funny. Anyway, subsequently collapsed on the pavement. The accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor. Those being a number of old books he'd just bought. He was on his way home from a bookshop, it seems. It was just a matter of working out who the books belonged to, and we found the boat to arrest him. Old books, you say? Yes, my lord, I have a photograph here of the scene of the crime taken immediately after the incident. We didn't help the woman, we just fucking took a picture. Oh yes, I can clearly see the books to which you are referring. I'll take that photographic print as evidence, please, Inspector. You Nipponese are a spineless breed, too cowardly to admit defeat. Denying everything despite overwhelming of the evidence to the contrary. Well, forgive me, Lord Van Zeeks, but the defendant is not denying everything, as you put it. What are you doing, Mr. Sato? Go on. Mr. Natsume has admitted to playing some part in the incident. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruto? Now you mention it. When we visited him in the prison yesterday, he did tell us what had all had happened. As I was walking home down the cursed pavement, I could make out the sole silhouette of another ahead of me. A woman wearing a green overcoat she was, and just as I was about to overtake her, she suddenly let out a little scream and collapsed under the cold, hard slabs of stone at my feet. I was terrified. I had to get away from there. So I ran so far away. I'm pretty sure I made that joke last time this conversation came up. As fast as my legs would carry me back to my accursed lodgings. Accursed. My green overcoat. Well, that's exactly what the woman in that print is wearing. Oh my, a photographic print in full color. What will the world come up with next? Or shut up. The defendant has done nothing more than admit he fled the scene of a terrifying incident. That does not mean he's guilty of the heinous crime of stabbing the woman in the back. I fucking dare you to say that to my face. There was nobody else there at the time, just the two of them, the victim and the Nipponese. In other words, there's nobody else who could possibly have stabbed the woman. And I point at you. Yeah? It seems that this cross-examination could prove to be pivotal, counsel. Proceed, please. Before Van Zieks loses that pointing finger. Yes, my lord. Nothing for it. I have to use this cross-examination to turn the tables here. It's our only chance. I'm actually gonna... Yeet! I think you did it, Inspector Gregson. Should I finish my food? Over Sandman. Let me grab a snack or something. Snacky snack. Oh my god. Oh, I have this cookie here. I'll just eat that. Nummy, nummy, nummy. Okay. I think I'm just gonna press on everything. I am actually worried about something in particular. Not that. I think it's the next one. Hold on. Scattering his belongings. Yeah, because we don't know if it was his. Nope, no. Oh.
Hold it!
Mr. Natsume's belongings, I think you'll find it's all there in the photographic print of the crime scene. Yeah, there's 3 books on the floor. That's right, my lord. Second-hand books they were. Irreparably damaged after falling in the snow, of course. The accused can easily have carried all 3 books in one hand. Which means the other hand was used to murder. He's very clever, isn't he? What do you mean? He's made it extremely hard for you to assert that Mr. Natsume had his hands full with the books. He's managed to close the one avenue of escape we might have had before we even knew it was there. Cookie? Cookie? You mean to say that the defendant was holding his belongings as he thrust the knife into the woman's back? Uh-huh.
Hold it!
I don't know why this would be, but I think we need to prove that the books he was using were not his because we have the receipt.
I commend this accused on the lofty subject matter of his scholarly attention.
Nope. No. Hold on. Yeah, it wasn't that one. Little place on the corner of Briar Road and Meerschaum. Okay. Yeah, me too. It may be important for later. Well, you know, I mean, yeah, whatever. Revise your testimony accordingly. I got you now, bitch.
I wash your hands.
Yes, my lord, whatever you say.
Could the man be any more sardonic? I don't know what that means.
He's on his way from Urban Books.
Objection.
If I could just stop you there, Mr. Gregson.
What is it, sunshine? I'm in Miss Banyan Hole.
This is a receipt we found in Mr. Natsume's room. It was issued on the day of the incident and details the purchase of 3 second-hand books.
And you found that in the accused's room, did you?
Yes, but the point is not where the receipt was found, but the name of the shop printed on it.
Go on.
This receipt was issued from a bookshop called Your Books.
Your Books? Y-O-R-E, I presume. Ah, what a clever little name.
Yes, my lord. So Mr. Natsume did indeed purchase a number of books at a second-hand bookshop that day. However, the bookshop in question was not Bourbon Books.
What? Inspector, do you know of this other bookshop? Yes, sir. Your Books is another second-hand bookshop not far from Bourbon Books. It's just that, well, it's such a small place, I didn't think the accused would have known about it.
But in fact, that is the bookshop which the defendant visited on the day in question. This receipt proves it.
Yes, for what difference it makes. Wherever the man purchased his musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis.
I disagree. I mean, after all, I have the street map here if that might be of help. Oh, yes. Thank you. Have a look at this, please. If the defendant had been returning from bourbon books, then yes, he would almost certainly have passed the place where Mr. Green was attacked. However, if we take into account the fact that who's actually at another bookshop, your books, it very may well turn out that he wouldn't have passed that location at all. Would that be true? My. It rather depends on where this other bookshop is, but I do declare it may be a possibility. Is that right, Mr. Loriser, what you just said? Absolutely. It could absolutely be right. Too bad none of us know where that store is. Well, obviously we looked into that. It's right across the street. Oh, that's not helpful at all. Oh. I need another glass of wine for this trial today. My learned Nipponese friend is obviously in training to be a clown, the way he regales us with such witticisms. To your future career in the circus. You could be the lion who jumps through the flaming hoops. You put that glass down or I'll put it down for you. I didn't think I need to spill it out, but here we go. The Hughes was coming home from your books instead of bourbon books. You could have very easily taken the same fucking path. Well, sounds like that's a shitty situation for you, Defense. Allow me to reiterate for my learned, if somewhat slow Nipponese friend. Ah, shit. Glass in my hand again. Wherever the man touches his musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis. Ah. As I suspected, you can't fool me, and don't suggest you try. What I say, eh? I've had enough of this now. Beg your pardon, I can't hear. Mr. Naruhodo, we mustn't give up. What do you mean? If the prosecution's assertion is correct, the members of the jury may very well decide that Mr. Natsume is guilty. She's absolutely right. We must think. We must consider the assertion just put forward by the prosecution very, very carefully. They claim Sasaki-san must have passed the location of the incident on his way home from your books, but I'm just gonna leave it. It's fine. Let's go! Wait, what time is it? I'm actually, yeah, I think that's a good place to stop. I mean, it's not a great place to stop, but I'm gonna stop here. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Side by Side Plays. I'm Shikuquaza. Next time we'll continue on with the fucking Great Ace Attorney. Finish up episode 4. Hooray!